Hey there, everyone. We are going to keep painting this globe today. And I was going to chat with you a little bit about the course and any questions that you have, and talk to you about tomorrow night's live video also. So if you're here, let me know so I can, hang on. I'm trying to make it so that I can see my comments okay. Let me know if you're here, and if you have questions, I'm going to try my best to answer them while I'm live, or I may have to come back because sometimes when I'm painting and trying to look at my comments and answer questions all at the same time, my brain can't handle it. I can't do all those things. Okay, so I've got my tea, we've got our globe, I've got my paint out here, and I am going to talk about the course a little bit. Today is the last day to purchase the course and get the early bird bonus. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, I just released yesterday, we just opened up this new acrylic painting for beginners course, and you get something extra if you purchase in the first 48 hours. So yesterday was the opening. Tonight at midnight is when the early bird bonus ends, and I was going to show you, hang on just a second, I was going to show you what that bonus is. So the acrylic painting for beginners course teaches you all about how to get started with acrylic paint, but it also helps you to elevate skills that you may already know when it comes to painting with acrylics. I love acrylics, they're my favorite. And the bonus that you get, the early bird bonus, is how to take photographs of flowers and recreate them, painting them with acrylics to make something sort of like an abstract impressionistic look. So this is the water lilies painting that you'll learn how to do based off of a photo, and this is the early bird bonus. So if you purchase before midnight tonight, you get the course and you get this bonus lesson that teaches you how to do this. So I just want to make sure you guys knew that. And if you, let me put this down. If you go to my website, artbyamandyhilburn.com, up at the very top, there is a little banner. You click on it, it takes you straight to that acrylic painting for beginners course. And I will also put a link, see if I can put a link in the comments, and you guys will be able to find it easily. We'll see. I may have to wait and do that after the video because I can't paint and do all these other things at the same time. And so you're here for the painting, I know. So I'll put that link in after the video is over. I'll put it down below, either in the description if you're watching me on YouTube, or I'll put it in the comments if you're watching me on Facebook. That was the other thing I wanted to tell you, is that I'm in both places. I'm going to be live in both places. So whatever is your favorite place to watch, hang on. Wherever is your favorite place to watch, that's where you can catch me live for the next few days. Now, we're going to work on this globe that I started on yesterday. You can see it here. Something I found at the thrift store, and I went through, let me move my light over so it's not so bright on that side. But we went through and just kind of marked where we're going to put some things. And now today we're actually going to put those things in here. I'm going to turn off my phone because I can't see comments on there anyway. And I will just have to talk to you after we paint. I will come back. I promise. If you have questions, you can ask the questions and I'll just come back and answer them after I get through with actually painting. So I just took the paper off of it because it was already coming off anyway, and put a layer of gesso on here. And then yesterday we just kind of mapped out where I think some of these things are going to live. We've got a butterfly and some flowers, and so we're just going to get started with some paint. And like I said yesterday, I love acrylics because you can basically paint on any surface using this medium. We would not be able to do this with watercolor, or I guess maybe you could do it with oils, but it would be super hard and it would take forever to dry. So that's one of the reasons that I really like acrylics. So I'm just getting out some stuff. I'm putting it on my palette here. My palette's down here. Maybe I should lower my camera a little. I want you to be able to see this mostly though. Tomorrow night, I'll tell you this while I'm thinking about it. Tomorrow night at 6 o'clock, we're going to do another live. I plan to finish this up tomorrow night. We're going to start on it today. We'll finish it up tomorrow night. And I'm going to go over all of the supplies. We're going to do some paint swatches and go over all the supplies that you need for the acrylic painting course. And we'll talk about paint swatches and all kinds of fun, nerdy art stuff. So if you want to be back here, wherever you're watching, either on YouTube or Facebook, we'll be back and do this again tomorrow night at 6, and I'm on Central Time. All right, so I'm going to just start with some greens. And yes, I put in my flowers first, and then I'm going to come back and put in my background. And I know what all these ideas in here are because I'm the one that put them in there. You may not be able to see when you look at this yellow stuff that I put in yesterday, it may be hard for you to tell what it is. But I know what it is because I placed it there. And some of this may change as I go. That happens sometimes. I change my mind about stuff as I am painting. Remember yesterday I said I wanted it to look like the flowers are coming up from the bottom down here. And so I'm just going to put in some grassy stripes for now. Also, I know I've been talking about this course a lot, but if you are interested in my painting group, which is a membership, you pay monthly and you access all of the painting tutorials that I have ever created, plus this new course that I just released. My membership is open, so if you want to join it, then you'll have access to all of this information that's in the course. You'll have this course, you have the palette knife painting course, and every video that I've ever created, basically teaching anything. There are over 400 videos in a library, and there are also some online business videos in a business library. So if you're interested in the creative community is what that's called. That's my painting membership, and it is open too. I'm going to give you links to all that after the video is completed today. Okay. So I'm back around to this side now where I began. And I think I'm going to start with this flower here. And I want to use some, got to get my color palette figured out here. And I'm going to dip into some white and use some manganese blue. I think that's going to be a pretty color for this flower right here, which I don't know what kind of flower it is. I'm just making them up. Which I do often. That's one of the fun things about painting flowers too. You can just kind of make up your own flowers. They don't have to be super realistic. Okay, and I've got another one of those right here. So I'll go ahead and put it in there. I also don't want you to be intimidated by the word coarse, because I know that it can be an intimidating word, but the palette knife painting course and this new one that I just put out, the acrylic painting for beginners course, I called it a course simply because there's just a lot of information that's packed into it. It's not something that you should be intimidated by at all. It's just what I'm calling it. It's not going to be something that you can't work through easily as a beginner. But it's more than just a workshop. So my workshops have multiple videos, and sometimes they do have a lot of information, but the way that the course is set up, it's kind of systematic in that it builds, you begin here and it builds on the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. But with like a workshop, that's not always necessarily the case. So I just named it that, but that doesn't mean you should be intimidated by it. Okay, let's move to some other flowers. I'm going to go with daisies here. There's 3 there. I thought I had another one somewhere. I'll just add another one right here. See, I've got 4 flowers right here, and I usually like to work in odd numbers. So I'm going to put a 5th one right there. All right. This is probably going to be hard to see because I don't have a background color in here yet. But I'm just going to start with this, and then we're going to pick a background color. And I already think that I want it to be a really light pink. I want my whole background to be a light pink. Or do I? Because I can do this flower. Yeah, I'm going to do the background a light pink. So we will get these daisies started. And then I'll go into some light pink. Actually, no. I'm going to put in some of this butterfly, the dark areas for the butterfly here. And where's the other one? Here's the big one right here. And I'm working quickly because I want it to stay loose and I don't want it to get too tight and stressful, because then it's not fun anymore. All right, I'll go ahead and map out this flower a little bit with some dark. So here we've got 3 elements. We got a big butterfly, one big flower, and then this one big flower. So we got 3 there. Got about 3 here. There's just one flower there. And I've got 5. Oh, I missed one. 5 daisies here. I think I need another big flower. They look kind of like roses, but just being really loose and playful. Okay, so now I've got it all pretty much mapped out, and I'm going to move into putting down some light pink for a background. And I'm going to use, I think I'm going to use my quinacridone red because it makes a really pretty pink. But I don't want it to be super bright pink. I want it to be like a dirty pink. So I think that brush is gonna work. Okay, I got an angled brush for this. And I'm gonna mix a ton of white with a little bit of quinacridone red and some raw umber. And just see what kind of color I can come up with that's pink, but it's not like a fluorescent pink. It's like a muted pink. Here, let me show you. Maybe you can see that. Can you see this right here? Possibly. So this was my quinacridone red. I'm mixing it with white and a little bit of raw umber. And we're just going to start cutting around stuff. And if you get a little bit of whatever color paint mixed in there with it, it's fine. It doesn't matter. And I pick up a little bit of white, a little bit of red. May have to go back and forth with my brown because I don't want it to be like a solid color. And notice I said I don't like. So just because I don't like something does not mean that that is the only way to do it. You can do things however you like it. So if you want to have a super bright pink background, then go for it. I just tend to like more muted colors myself. It's going to squeak a little bit when I'm doing this. Can you see? I feel like this light is making it harder for you to see rather than better. Okay. This right here was a flower that I started with yellow and then I went back over it with some blue, but I left some of that yellow peeking through. And I'm not going to cover all that up with pink. I'm going to let it show through. So that flower is now a little bit blue and a little bit yellow. And there's some pink background that is going to show up too. So far, here's what we've got. I'm trying to stay loose and work quickly because I don't want to get too caught up in details and make things too tight and some people say precious. I don't want it to be like that at all. I want it to be fun for me as I paint, and I also want it to be interesting to look at. And if everything's all so tight and precise, I don't like looking at it. It doesn't make me happy. Just stuck my finger right in some pink. That's one of the tricky things about doing this is that you're painting on something round. So on the back side of what I'm doing right now is still wet. But acrylic does dry really fast. So it won't be wet for long. Then you can get back in there and do things if you feel like you should go back over some areas, or if you leave a fingerprint because you just touched something. Okay. I'm getting close. I'm getting back around to where I began. If you're good at lettering, you could add a Bible verse or one of your favorite quotes. Okay. Back around to where we started. But I feel like I'm so close to this thing that I can't really see. I'm going to have to move back and swirl it and see if I've got everything covered that needs to be. And I think I do. Pretty good. Okay, so now that we've got all this pink on here, you can see things a lot better as far as the flowers and things like that go. All right, so let's start this daisy here. Can you see that okay? I think you can. Get a sip of tea. Okay, so I'm going to add some blue in here, which sounds strange, I know, if we're painting a white daisy, but just trust me. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to take some of this red. And here's my brush that I like to use for that. Gonna grab white. You see that, Daisy? Okay, let's do this one. There's one way up here. I'm not sure I like this pink background. All right, so we got several daisies there now. I'm going to put some yellow in the center. I'm still not sure about this pink background. I'm just going to keep going with it and see what happens. So these daisies need some more leaves and greenery. Let's do that while we're working on them. Trying to hold it and paint it at the same time. I think I'm probably going to like the pink better once I get some more green on here. So I think it's going to be fine. There's like a gap up here, so we got to put something in there. Okay. So here's what we got so far. Those are just the daisies. Okay, so I'm going to stick with the same flower until I may turn that one into a different flower because I don't want to do some more daisies. Okay, let's move over here. I'm going to keep going with some of this greenery. Move over this way. Okay, now we're going to work on this little flower here and this one here. I'm actually going to leave that blue one just like it is. I'm not going to do anything else to it. So we can work on this one. I'm going to put a little bit of blue in there. And then a lot of white. See that? I've got another one here. Put a little bit of blue. And then a lot of white. So there's another one like that. Let's put a little bitty one down here just to give me some odd numbers. And then I'm going to turn this one into that same kind of flower just because I'm tired of painting daisies, so I wanted to paint these. And then there's this big one here. So we've got several of these. Got these blue ones. I'm going to go in with some more green. I'm going to add a little more yellow than black for the green on this part. I'm going to do those butterflies last. Put a little green up here. Okay, so let's see what we got so far. Actually, I'm going to use something else to turn it because it is wet. Okay. So we've got a big rose and the beginning of a butterfly. And then we've got these blue flowers here, which I don't know what I want to call those. Just kind of made them up. And then we've got all these daisies. And some more of those blue flowers. And a little cluster of those white, almost rose-looking flowers. And one more little butterfly, beginning of a butterfly. I'll probably put another butterfly somewhere else. And I want to do a little more defined, some leaves that are more defined. So all of this greenery that I've done so far is just kind of streaks. So I'm going to take a different color, different green, and our different value and go in there and make a little more, the leaves a little more defined. So that is going to be what we do next. And then I think tomorrow night we'll finish this up by doing the butterflies. So today we'll finish the flowers. Tomorrow night I plan on going live at 6 o'clock. I'm on Central Time. So tomorrow night at 6 o'clock here we will finish it up. But for now, let's take some brighter, let me see, do I need brighter greens or do I need darker ones? It depends on what spot I'm working on. In here, I think I need some brighter ones. So let's go with some little leaves that are brighter and more defined. So I'm just going to make a little line. And now that little streak there is just going to help the whole thing look more like leaves. Sometimes you just need a few shapes that look realistic in the middle of some other things that look, you know, a lot more loose and crazy. What if we put some white ones, like almost white, really light yellow? See that? And I've got all these moving this way, so I need to put some that are coming this way. So let's do something like that. It kind of just fills in some gaps. All right, I'm going to add a little bit of some darker green now. Got too much on my brush, hang on. So we could do the same thing with a darker green. You see that? So I'm just kind of trying to fill in some gaps here and there that need either something darker or something lighter. And there may be some spots that are a little bit too busy. So let me look and see if I can find, like right here. I really like this little flower, but he doesn't show up very well because there's so much going on around it. So I'm just going to fill in a lot of that with some green. And then maybe tap some little spots there, and now that little flower really shows up. And same here. So that one really shows up better too. And I feel like I'm going to need to do that a little more here. Which makes that one show up even more. So all these daisies in this area are really easy to see now, which makes me think maybe I should go around a lot of these flowers with some darker green. Especially around this busy part where the bottom is. And that's going to make a lot of it show up. So I've still got my pink background, but it's mostly going to be up here at the top if I do this. And this is my painting process. I usually do this, make decisions like this as I go, especially if I'm doing something that I'm not familiar with painting. It's not something that I've painted before, and I'm not 100% sure what I want to do. Like when we started, I was like, I don't know what color my background's going to be. This is how I do it. So see, I can still leave all this pink here. I may want to put a little green just right there or something. But all this can be still be pink and work just fine. But I'm just filling in some of the pink that's down here that seems to be taking away from my flowers. And distracting your eye. And that's just going to make it all show up better. And now I'm back around to where I first began putting in all this extra green. So I may just get it all down here. now I'm much happier with it already. So, got all these flowers are showing up so much better now that I put more of that green in there. I think I need to lighten up some on the blue flowers. So I said I was going to leave them alone, but now I need to add a little bit more of a lighter value. Just need to get a good bit of white and just tap that in there, here and there. See that? It's not quite big enough. Hang on. Now this one, I'll do the same. And I've got these right here. Okay. So for today, we did our background and we did our flowers and our leaves or greenery, whatever you want to call that. I think I'm going to put another butterfly right there. Go ahead and do it. Put the outline of him so I don't forget it. But tomorrow night is when we're going to finish this up. And let me get a little reference photo here. My coaster has a butterfly on it. So I'm going to just put one right there. And tomorrow night we will do all the butterflies and finish this up. That's where he's going to be. So I have all the flowers and butterflies all done tomorrow night. And tomorrow night I'm also, let me move this up. I'm also going to go over the supplies that I recommend for beginning with acrylic painting. And they're going to be the same supplies that are listed in the course, Acrylic Painting for Beginners. And I'm going to just like swatch some paint and show you the paint and the brushes that I recommend and all the things. So if you're interested in learning about art supplies, which sounds a little nerdy, but I love it. There's nothing better than art supplies. Then tomorrow night here in the same place, I'll be live at 6 o'clock and I'm going to show you all the art supplies. We're going to finish the butterflies here on the globe. And in the meantime, if you want to get the early bird bonus for the acrylic painting for beginners, if you're thinking about, you may want to purchase the course tonight at midnight is the last opportunity that you'll have to get the early bird bonus, which with this, you learn to paint these water lilies from a real photograph. And I'm showing you in that, I also show you some different pictures that I used and turned them into more abstract-ish flower paintings. So, like I said, that bonus ends tonight. You'll still be able to purchase the course at the early registration price, which is $67. And that price is going to be available through Monday. But this early bird bonus will not be available. It ends tonight at midnight. So I'm going to put a link down below for the course and for my creative community if you're interested in either one. And I will see you guys back here tomorrow night at 6 o'clock.